Hi, my name is Domingos Oliveira, president and founder of SecuGuard. Today, I want to speak about a subject that has become increasingly important in modern society: civil unrest security. In today's world, tension can rise quickly. Demonstrations, protests, disorder, crowd instability, vandalism, and sudden disruptions can affect businesses, institutions, commercial sites, public-facing organizations, and private property with very little warning. And when that happens, security becomes more than a presence. It becomes a pillar of control, professionalism, and stability. Civil unrest security is not about intimidation, it is not about ego, and it is not about acting outside the law. It is about protecting life, reducing panic, preventing unnecessary escalation, securing assets, and helping maintain order in highly unpredictable environments. When unrest begins, emotions run high, crowds can shift rapidly. A calm situation can become volatile in seconds. That is why private security professionals must be trained not only to stand visible, but to think clearly under pressure. In these moments, the best security officers are the ones who remain calm, observant, disciplined, and focused on the mission. A professional security presence during civil unrest must understand crowd behavior, access control, perimeter security, communication protocols, emergency procedures, evacuation planning, and incident reporting. But more importantly, security personnel must understand that every action matters. A poor decision, an unnecessary confrontation, or an emotional reaction can make a dangerous situation even worse. That is why preparation matters so much. A site should never wait for disorder to begin before thinking about security. Real civil unrest preparedness starts before the crisis. It starts with identifying vulnerable access points, protecting entrances and exits, reviewing emergency plans, assessing site exposure, training personnel, and establishing strong communication between security, management, and emergency responders. Civil unrest security is not something that should be improvised. It must be planned, structured, and led with discipline. At SecuGuard, we believe that security professionals must be prepared for the reality that public tension can affect operations at any time. Whether it is a business, office tower, commercial facility, event site, retail location, or sensitive installation, the goal is always the same: protect people first, maintain control, reduce risk, and respond with professionalism. The strongest security teams are not the loudest. They are the most prepared, they are the most disciplined, and they are the most capable of bringing calm into disorder. This is why civil unrest security deserves serious attention in modern private security training. It is one of the clearest tests of professionalism, judgment, and operational readiness. When we speak about civil unrest security, we also need to understand the impact on businesses and critical sites. The moment public disorder begins, businesses become vulnerable. Employees may feel unsafe, customers may panic, entry points become risks. Parking lots, storefronts, warehouses, construction sites, offices, and corporate facilities may suddenly face trespassing, vandalism, theft, threats, or attempts at forced access. This is where professional private security becomes essential. A strong civil unrest security posture begins with risk assessment. Which parts of the property are most exposed? Which entrances are vulnerable? Which assets are critical? Which staff members need protection? Which emergency procedures must be activated immediately? Security is not just about standing at a door. It is about anticipating threats and building layers of protection. During civil unrest, organizations need more than guards. They need a coordinated strategy. That includes controlled access, perimeter monitoring, lockdown capability, real-time reporting, staff guidance, emergency communication, and rapid escalation procedures. Security personnel must be ready to recognize changes in crowd mood, unusual movements, suspicious behavior, and signs that a situation is deteriorating. Professionalism is critical in these environments. Security officers must avoid emotional reactions. They must avoid provocation. They must not act outside policy or law. Their role is to observe, report, stabilize, guide, and intervene only when necessary and justified. Their presence must create confidence, not confusion. This is also where business continuity becomes part of the conversation. Civil unrest can disrupt operations far beyond the immediate physical threat. Staff may not be able to enter safely. Deliveries may stop. Customers may stay away. Leadership may lose visibility over what is happening in real time. In these situations, security is not only protecting property, security is protecting continuity, confidence, and the ability of an organization to function during uncertainty. A prepared organization has a much greater chance of protecting its people and recovering quickly. An unprepared organization may suffer operational loss, financial damage, reputational harm, and unnecessary danger. At SecuGuard, we believe that civil unrest preparedness should now be treated as part of serious risk management. The world is changing. Social tension can rise with little notice. Businesses that prepare in advance will always be in a stronger position than those that react too late. Security during civil unrest is about more than uniforms and visibility. It is about leadership, planning, communication, prevention, and controlled response. And that is exactly why this topic matters so much in the private security profession today. One of the most important principles in civil unrest security is this: leadership through restraint. In high-tension environments, the true value of a security professional is not measured only by how they respond when things go wrong. It is measured by how well they prevent the situation from getting worse. That is the real test of discipline. Civil unrest environments are emotionally charged. There may be shouting, anger, fear, provocation, confusion, and sudden movement. In that type of atmosphere, an untrained or undisciplined security presence can easily add fuel to the fire. But a true professional does the opposite. A true professional brings calm, structure, communication, and control. Leadership in these environments does not mean aggression. It means composure. It means situational awareness. It means understanding when to speak, when to observe, when to reposition, when to report, and when to request support. Good judgment is often more powerful than force. Restraint is not weakness. In private security, restraint is a strength. It shows confidence, training, legal awareness, and professionalism. The use of force, if ever required, must always be lawful, justified, proportionate, and properly documented. There is no room for ego in professional security work. The future of private security belongs to disciplined professionals who understand that their conduct reflects the entire industry. During civil unrest, every word matters, every movement matters, every report matters. A security professional must remain a source of order in a moment of disorder. That is why training is so important. Security personnel must be trained in de-escalation, emergency coordination, access control, observation, reporting, communication, and operational discipline under stress. A strong uniform alone is not enough. Real security comes from standards, preparation, and leadership. At SecuGuard, we believe civil unrest security must always be built on ethics, legal compliance, preparedness, and professionalism. The mission is not to dominate the environment. The mission is to protect it. And in 2026 and beyond, organizations that take civil unrest preparedness seriously will be far better equipped to protect their people, their sites, their operations, and their reputation. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Domingos Oliveira, president and founder of SecuGuard. Please visit secuguard.org. Thank you for your support. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. And please hit the bell to stay connected with our latest content. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to continuing to raise the standard of professionalism in private security.